Now, if you look down here in my message manager, the very last message that I got was I got a normal completion of simulation on the server. So compare the timestamps that you see here, and I'm looking at about a difference of 9 minutes. And the other thing I wanted to bring to your attention was if I go to the simulation tab ribbon, there's this button called HPC options, and if I click it, I can see that there's a configuration that's named here. It's active and it's called local. If I hit the edit button, it will show me the number of cores. And I was actually misleading you before. I had thought that I had set my cores up to be 16, but it turns out I'm only using a small fraction of the cores. So if it took me 9 minutes with 4 cores, there's a good chance that you have computing capability that's going to be on the ballpark of that. So if you have more, you're free to change that configuration. You can change the number of cores just by typing in the amount that you want to use and the amount that you have, and you should see a noticeable impact on the speed of your simulation. So I'm going to just cancel out of this since I didn't make any changes, and what we really want to get to is comparing the results. So this is showing the previous result from the setup 1. So I'm going to show you how to add a new result to the exact same report, this thing called Calculator Expressions Table 1. So if I right click and if I go to Modify Report, everything is the same as what we had done before. We're using mag_e, the 0.1 is there. But notice if I go to Solution, I formerly only had setup 1. Now I actually have setup 2. So let's go ahead and choose setup 2. And instead of saying new report, I'm just going to add it to the table that we're looking at so you can watch it happen in real time. If I move this down and I just say add trace, it should add another component in a second here, and that's going to have the newly calculated value. And you can see, indeed, it has changed. Let me close this out, and I'm going to double click the number and change the format to scientific again, and I'll hit apply. All that was to say, with the changes that we made by forcing a more strict convergence criteria by going from 0.1 to 0.01, we improved the comparison significantly. So we went down to near 5% of a difference to now we're within just a fraction of a percent. So 0.3%, by any stretch of the imagination, that would be a very decent comparison. So if our task was to use a point charge and look at field values around a certain radius within that point charge, we would say that the settings that we have on this model are doing a very good job.